Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. This is DTP, and we're going to be doing a belt review on Fandu's version of the Big Gold. So, as you can see, I got the all gold version here of basically the old WCW NWA World Heavyweight Championship, which is one of my favorites, and I think a lot of yours as well too. So let's dig into it. So obviously this is made by Fandu Belts, as I stated before. It's got 8 millimeter plates in comparison to the 4 millimeter plates or 2 millimeter plates that you would have found on the Shop or Figures Inc. belts. But let's get this unsnapped and take a look at this beautiful belt. So let's lay it out flat here. All right, so going from left to right on this belt, if we're looking over here on the left, obviously quite a few snaps on here to fit any size. Now this is not real leather, but it's not the simulated polyurethane leather that you would get from WWE Shop. This is very, very floppy. Some people actually complain about how floppy it is. Me, I think it's beautiful. You don't get any creases in it. You don't get any bends in it because of that floppiness. It always kind of goes back to where it's supposed to go. So I really like that a lot. So not a lot of extra tooling or anything. Obviously, the belt is pretty plain in that sense. But like I said, good flexible floppy strap here. So going down here, I do like also that the snaps are very shiny and gold as well too, which you don't get with a lot of belt makers. Normally they're kind of tarnished looking or copperish. So I really do like that. Now coming over here to the 8 millimeter side plates, which is just a beautiful thing. You really get a lot of detail in that braiding in the edge of the belt that I really like. And again, with the 8 millimeter plates, the depth of the etching is just wonderful. It's just something that you don't really get to see on those much flatter versions that you would be getting from WWE Shop. Now, it is a little bit smaller in size than the original or the WWE Shop version. So it looks like the guys here are just a little bit smaller. Obviously, there's a great detail. You can see what's going on, but they are a little bit smaller in comparison to that. But the etching is just absolutely beautiful in these. I do like the surrounding for the jewels, that they have some detail there in themselves. And they seem to hold the jewels really, really well. And I do like that beautiful red color that they use to match the original jewels of the belt. So coming across over here to the main plate, um, the difference with a Fandu Big Gold in comparison to, I guess, the original Big Gold, not only besides the thickness, and obviously there's always different types of colors that you can get those in, as far as the zinc or brass or gold or dual plated crumb rind, like the original. Now this one, of course, does not have the symbol up here of WWE, of course, because this is Fandu's version of the Big Gold itself. Um, you can really see the kind of plating in there. That kind of nugget texture looks really nice. Really makes the words stand out very well. And of course, I just got the regular original version with the red jewels and the white looking diamonds here. One also difference with the original in comparison to Fandu's is the globe itself. This globe does have a little bit more of a dome shape to it, that the original is more kind of flat across. I really like the dome look to it. I think it just gives it more dimension to it. And of course, I have you can get a custom nameplate here with the Fandu versions, up to, I think it's 8 letters, I believe. So I went ahead with Punisher, which was, kind of an old um, nickname of mine. So I always wanted something that had that nameplate on there. Um, but as you can see, just the beautiful etching and detail and depth that you get from this belt. It's not the original Big Gold, as we stated before. It does symbolize it more so, but to me, it's just so much more beautifully done than the original 2 millimeter plates that they used to have on those. So coming across this belt, as you can see, I do have this one autographed. It's actually autographed by Booker T, a five-time champ there, Hall of Fame 2013 and 2019. Plenty of room, good flat space for him to autograph that. Um, Plenty of snaps there, depending on what size you are, of course, as well too. So this has always been one of my favorite belts. I just think it's just beautiful. It has, to me, the perfect amount of curve to it, so it doesn't lay super flat when you go to put it on or to put it on your shoulder. Sits really, really well on it. I believe it is at least 8 pounds. It's very, very heavy here. But let's take a look at it flipped over on its back, on its front per se, and you can really kind of see the curve, and it looks really, really nice. Now, as you can see, Fandu does something a little bit different, how you can actually have the screws exposed. Um, it doesn't really matter to me in the long run, at least if I know that the screws are exposed. I don't have to ruin the leather if I want to change plates or take them off to clean them individually or anything like that. So no, I like it. I kind of like that the screws are exposed there. As you can see, I got a red croc backing, which is something that Fandu offers. It's very nice, very glossy, very shiny. Um, Kind of reminds you of when kind of like the Batista era had the belt, the Big Gold, and they did that red backing on the inside of the Big Gold for WWE. So I thought that was a really nice kind of add-on to the belt. Obviously, it'd make it kind of difficult to get it autographed or get a real clean autograph in here with that croc backing, but again, just very beautiful. And there is plenty of room for autographs, as you can see, on the outside of the belt. All in all, this I actually picked up as what they would call an imperfect belt, which you save quite a bit of money from Fandu when you pick up one of their imperfect belts, because I would say that their average Big Gold is probably around $350, where I think I got this closer to about a $250 range, based on it being labeled as imperfect. Now, as far as saying, well, what's imperfect about it? Well, that's really, really hard to tell. Sometimes these imperfects, you really have to look at with a kind of a fine tooth comb to find out what are they considered imperfect. Some of them you just can't tell. Some of them are a little bit more blatant, but looking at this one, I think the only detail I could really find in it was maybe some missing nugget piece down here at the bottom. I honestly can't even find it now at this point, to where I could call this an imperfect. Maybe you guys see it and I'm just not catching it. But I wanted to say it was something down towards the bottom here of the belt, but I actually don't even see it at this time. So definitely worth it. Definitely worth to save the money on the imperfect. The strap fits the belt really well. Now the only thing that a lot of people have complaints about with the Fandu version is that the belt strap cannot hold the weight of these plates. So when it sits up, it wants to kind of fold within itself because of how heavy and thick these plates are, which is understandable. So I just make sure that I do keep it on a belt stand, which you can kind of see little bends there from the belt stand itself. But what I didn't want to do was have it fold into itself, or B, really damage this point and have that bent up by sitting on top of that. So that's why I always keep it in a little frame there. But yep, this is it. The Fandu version of Big Gold. It's a very, very beautiful belt. Definitely one of my favorites. And definitely now that I've got, Booker T himself autographed it. Hopefully I can get a couple more autographs on it just for uh, my fun and pleasure in that. Um, and I'm really really happy with it. So some people like the shop version. Maybe someday I'll get a shop version of the Big Gold, but to be honest with you, they're just really flat on the shop. And not only that, but yeah, they just don't have that curve to them either on those shop belts, which is kind of disappointing. So for now, I am very very happy with my Fandu Big Gold. Thanks for watching.